The sloppy salmon smoked a twisted thistle.
Twisted thistle.
Did you just make that one up?
No, I know there's one with twisted thistle.
Why
Twisted
sloppy
thistle.
salmon?
I don't know.
What's a sloppy salmon?
Why is the salmon got to be sloppy?
Is that a sex thing?
Sloppy
That-
toppy slamming.
You know what? I'm
Urban
looking,
Dictionary it right
I'm looking
now.
this right now.
What's a sloppy salmon?
Welcome to the 38th episode of Beer and Fear. My name is Paige.
My name is Zach.
And my name is Jack.
Oh, we have a guest.
Our first guest on
Yeah.
Beer and Fear.
First and last guest, because he's probably going to blow it.
Yeah, this is going to suck so bad.
Yeah,
Yep.
totally.
But this is Mr. Jack, who helped us purchase all of our wonderful audio equipment so that we could do this. So, big round of applause
No.
No,
for,
stop.
for Jack.
Nope.
Thank
Stop.
you.
Stopping.
I'm going to slow blink you.
My point is, we're just grateful.
This
happy.
episode
No problem. Thank
is
you for
on
having me.
Grizzly Bears.
Paige picked Grizzly Bears.
I did pick Grizzly Bears.
You
Well,
were
I was
gonna-
going to pick bears
Yeah.
in general, but Zachary would prefer to do a topic on other bears. So,
Yeah, we can do multiple.
Why not?
There are multiple bears, and I feel like we can talk about.
you know, polar bears deserve
of
their
them.
own topic. They're super fucked up.
They do. I think I want to do that one.
Yeah,
at
polar
some
bears
point.
got issues.
Before we get into Grizzly Bears, this is the part where we share things about our week.
Yes, we recount our week.
Except for that one episode where we forgot.
Yeah, and you didn't edit it.
Nope.
Because you're a sicko.
Nope.
Made me sad.
Mr.
Thought I
Jack.
was really missing out.
Thank you. See, Mr. Jack, if you want to go ahead and share your week.
For sure.
Like we're just calling him Mr. Jack now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
This is
When
fun.
we crashed the party.
Mhm.
Yeah. I guess this week was pretty normal. Just worked out.
Where are you
Napped.
working out?
Where am I
You
working
going
out?
to a gym?
No, just at home.
What are you doing? Like
Feel
weights?
No, I tried this new app called 7-Minute Workout. It has like HIIT on it, so high intensity interval training, and then some Tabata.
The fuck is Tabata?
It's also another high intensity workout, but it's all body weight stuff.
Oh,
You
okay.
Tabata be kidding me.
Oh.
Looks like Jack is not the one that's going to be blowing it this episode.
running out of material, guys.
Oh, it's episode 38. I've already blown it.
I have 2 more jokes.
Oh, no.
But besides that, pretty normal week.
That's good.
Nothing
A
too
simple-
crazy.
A simple, relaxing week.
How about you
That's
guys?
good. Go ahead, Zachary.
Our answers are mostly work. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was happy to hear that you're doing about the same. You know, we're all kind of in the same boat with work. That's all I did. I usually write things down so I remember them, or I have to look at my calendar to see what I did. Nothing too crazy. We all got to hang out yesterday,
Yeah.
so that was fun. We went to Lantern in downtown Naperville, and it was not really a recommendation from my buddy Eric, but he actually went to Lantern and got a drink or two when we played our show in Naperville. So that's how I knew about that place. So I finally checked it out. It was really cool. It's kind of loud.
was a little loud.
A lot of drunk people.
It was probably the most uncomfortable bar stool I've ever sat in my life.
Yeah, Thursday night in Naperville. There were
It
no
could not handle
no
my
booths
butt.
free.
I couldn't.
But the drinks were good and the food was really good. So
Yeah.
if you're in the Naperville area, check out Lantern. We had a good time.
Yeah,
And
we're
they had
getting
some pretty good music. I was normally it's just trap or
Oh, yeah.
top 40.
They
That's a
didn't
good
get
way to look at
to
it.
the trap until about an hour and a half in.
And did you notice that's right when we left?
Yeah. That's why we left, actually.
because of the music
We were in the middle of our
selection.
food, and then we were like 1.5 beers in. We were like, we just got to get out
It was
of here.
good food though. I'm not gonna complain. That was a good sandwich.
I had a po' boy. It's delicious. That was the highlight of my past week. What about you, Paige?
Just work, personal stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Life is stressful.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do?
There's a lot going on. We don't have to talk about it.
I
It's
would
like you said, it's
prefer-
personal. There's a lot going on in your life. It's pretty big changes. So
Hectic.
yeah.
But work's going really well. I'm happy about that. Saw some really cute dogs today, and that made my day
I'm jealous.
great. It made me very, very happy.
Makes it all worth it,
It
doesn't
does
it?
make it worth it. Animals make everything worth it. That's why I'm always so happy to come see Casoda,
Of course.
my favorite cat.
My therapy cat.
You should
She's-
come on my lap.
She likes that spot. It's like the sun comes in. I don't
Yeah,
know.
sunbathing.
She gets pretty tired.
But I think that's about it. I don't think I have anything too earth-shattering to share. I'm simple.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the episode.
It's
Bye.
another week. Thanks
See
for
you guys.
listening.
Thanks for listening. If no one has anything else to share, we can get into the beer.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, I feel like we should. It's going to be a pretty lengthy episode. I have a lot to cover in my section, and Jack's got a story for us,
Yes.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jack came prepared.
Some facts and
Nice.
bullets
Yes.
about bears. But what beer are we drinking today?
So our beer is from Floyds Brewing Company.
Excellent.
And we'll go into their About Us just to touch up on it because it's been a little bit.
Yeah, we had, what was it? Flying Bitch?
That's from Doghead,
No. Dogfish?
not Dogfish Head.
No.
Flying Bitch is from
No, it was not Flying Bitch. I just
Tropical Bitch.
I combined two of them.
Tropical
You know that
Bitch.
beer, Flying Bitch?
She
no,
flew on by.
It's up there. Yeah, Tropical Bitch. By
Tropical Bitch
see
is
it.
not from Three Floyds.
who was it from?
Tropical Bitch is from, oh God, let me look it up.
The bottle's right there. Jack, read it.
I can't see the brand, but I know they do like the gonzo art with it.
I swear to God. Oh no, it's not Three Floyds. What is it?
Flying Dog Brewery. That's why you combined the two.
Flying Bitch.
Flying Bitch. You're so exhausted.
But we've done Three Floyds though, right?
That was the first beer we did.
oh, Zombie Dust. All right, I'll be over here. Continue.
Why are you
Sorry.
doing this to me? Just a quick
Go in your corner with your
Yes.
terrarium.
Please go in your corner. From our humble beginnings in 1996, armed with only a few $100s, a 5-barrel Frankenstein wok burner fired brew kettle, repurposed open Swiss cheese fermenters, and an old Canfield's cola tank, it's not normal ales and lagers were born. Three Floyds are strict adherents to the samurai code of the German beer purity law.
Oh yeah, they're very particular about their beer. They have a word for it.
Are you going to look up the word?
Yeah,
Thanks.
because I'm going to try and say it.
Oh, good luck.
Reinheitsgebot.
Bless you.
Reinheitsgebot. It's look that up. Just common spelling. You could check it out on Google for the Germans and their specificity about beer.
Our beer is called Secret Savages.
Ooh.
Okay, I thought it was going to have bear in the
It's
title.
brand new.
Fuck yeah.
The newest kid in our wild and sour ale program.
That's right, I forgot about that.
Secret Savages. This tart and fruity ale harnesses the juicy power of watermelons and is conditioned for several months in our collection of wine and spirits barrels. Enjoy with friends and remember, it's not normal. American Sour Ale, ABV 10.4%.
Okay.
God bless America.
Damn.
It has nothing on Beer Advocate because it
brand
was
new.
just released.
Very cool.
It's called a wild ale, like I said, but it's got an average score of 3.49.
Okay.
There's a couple reviews. Like 2. I might read the one that he did, but it's very long.
Before or after?
After, of course.
Okay. Yeah, we had I think Beer Advocate. So Beer Advocate calls it a wild ale. Mm-hmm. Okay, because that's like Electric Jewel was a wild ale. We've had one of those before, and then our last sour was just a few episodes ago for Brooklyn Brewery, the key lime. So I like sour beers. You've gotten a liking to sour beers.
I love sour beers.
Did you say something about sour beers?
Last night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last night.
I started drinking them, I don't know, last week with my buddies, and I put down probably 3 or 4.
I'm a sucker for a sour ale,
They're
and
So good.
Pretty addicting.
I feel like it's a good time to give Three Floyds their shot again after I was disappointed in Zombie Dust.
Which is surprising because it was such a high ranked beer.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
complicated.
We'll go back to it. I want to do a return to Zombie Dust.
I feel like just how people are like, I listen to indie music, and they go with, I don't know, Modest Mouse,
Tame Impala.
Tame Impala,
Yeah.
that stuff. It's like Zombie Dust is how you break into the craft beer game. You know, that's my perception of it.
I like that. It's pretty good.
But
Get that beer.
Get it.
get that beer. Is this where you're going to play the sound effect of the beer pouring?
We don't play a sound effect.
Oh,
That's
not
the
the beer
actual
pouring.
sound.
That's an actual clock?
Not the clock. No, the clock is just a fake sound. The beer pouring is us. I'm breaking so many walls right now. All right, so Secret Savages is in a bottle, and it's got a little unicorn on it with watermelons with wings.
Yes!
Oh my gosh.
Whoever designed this is
Brewed with watermelon.
very good.
I love it.
The classic Three Floyds swirly cap.
Yes.
It's nice. So the only tie-in with bears is savages. Okay.
Secret
Because
Savages.
this is not a bear.
Yeah, so
Okay.
what?
All right.
I'm sorry, Electric Jewel.
I just wanted to.
Let me bring that up again. We need bottle openers? Yes,
I think so.
we do.
Right there.
Zach, will you open mine?
Yeah. Pick a bottle opener.
Thank you.
Oh, you didn't pick Scott's.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, Scott.
Didn't have to.
Oh, no, but he could have
I
the
think this is
experience.
because this is the one that I have at home.
Thank you.
I could smell it from here.
Let me get a whiff.
Really?
Oh, that's what's up.
Oh,
Wow.
mama.
That's a sour ale if I ever smelled one.
Yeah.
It smells super tart. I'm pouring into a glass.
I was gonna say watermelon. Right?
Look at that color.
Oh wow. I was not expecting that.
No.
Ooh, listen.
I wasn't expecting to have a good pour.
That's a great pour. I gotta get a picture.
What an interesting color. Oh my gosh, there's pieces of watermelon in it. There's like
That's like,
watermelon seeds.
That's like what purple haze.
What's your favorite kind of beer? The one with pulp in it.
I like my pulpy beer.
It's got a small head on it, which
Yeah.
I like. I don't like the stuff where you gotta. Do you know that trick where you like wipe your face a little bit and then you put your finger in the
I have never heard of that.
in the
What is it?
head? Yeah, the oil from your.
I would not want my face oils in my beverage.
It's just for the head.
It's just for the head. Yeah, the foam does not stick around.
It smells like booch.
It does smell
It's
like
got that
booch.
really tart, sour
That's
flavor
that sour
to it.
ale for you, though.
Yeah.
It's almost like I wanted to say orange, but the more I hold it up to the light, it's like it's almost red.
What's that?
Fuck in the middle.
What's
Amber.
that? SRM?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What would you say that is?
SRM.
Solid 12. 16.
I don't know,
I'm
it's
going with a
very-
15 and 3/4.
I think, yeah. I think that's pretty accurate.
Looks like beer to me.
It's beer.
Yep, that's a beer. Oh, we got a. Here we go.
Yep.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
That's an aftertaste.
That is watermelon.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that top part.
This is so intense.
Woo!
I mean, this is the.
Woo!
Like it just fucking kicks you in the jaw.
It's like when you drink Red Bull. You get that little knot in your jaw.
Yeah. Yep.
See, I'm not getting that.
I got it a little bit.
Just from it being so sour and just in your face. I don't know. It reminds me of apple cider.
Oh, you know what? It kind of
Like-
it smells like vinegar.
Oh my god. I was just trying to think about what that smell is that you get right when you drink it.
Yeah, very vinegar.
The mouthfeel and just the aftertaste it reminds me of apple cider.
The burp tastes like Jolly Ranchers. Like watermelon Jolly Ranchers.
This is very intense.
This is a weird beer.
For a sour beer. It is a weird beer. Can't
I
say
like
I've had
it.
anything like this in my life.
To quote Zach, it's good.
It is good.
I'm gonna go ahead and read this review.
Sure.
It is lengthy.
Get on it.
This comes from Beerchitect.
All right.
He's a beer architect.
That
He's from
is
Kentucky.
clever.
That was actually the backup name for our podcast to Beer and Fear ended up being taken. Yeah.
He's lying, it's not. Just saying. He gave the look a 4, the smell a 4, the taste a 4, the feel a 3.75, and an overall 4. Intensity simply oozes from Three Floyds Sour program, and their spirits and wine barrel-aged wild ale is just one of them. Piling on a reckless amount of watermelon flavor gives their imperial strength secret savages a shockingly juicy and powerful flavor experience. Sunny orange, pink, and with a depth of mauve. Or is it mauve?
Mauve.
Mauve? Is it mauve?
That's a new word.
I'm gonna do what I usually do, and I have no expertise on this, but
just comment?
I'm gonna guess, and then I'm gonna stick
Okay, so
to
it is mauve. The beer pours with a popping and spirited carbonation as it froths, dissipates quickly. The strong tingle of sourness hits the olfactory senses with a spicy sourness and ether heat. Fruity
ether?
Ether.
Yeah.
Ether.
There's ether in this.
There's ether in this. Fruity melon-like and heavily, I'm not even sure, vinous? I don't even...
A lot of good words.
This guy's got a lot going on. The scent soon gives way to a scantily sweet, dry juiciness of taffy, sourdough, and light fruit syrups. See, the sourdough I definitely get with that vinegary. Shockingly sour, the attack of acidity hits the middle palate with a spicy sourness that pierces the taste buds with crabapple, balsamic, lime, red wine, gooseberry, vinegar, and lemon.
Gooseberry?
Gooseberry. With a huge drift of watermelon coming over the session. A sweeter and juicier take takes a slight edge off of the strongly acidic punch. With a jolt of woodsy, peppery, and musty oak stepping in late.
Damn.
I think that's a pretty apt review.
Very
It's
descriptive.
very descriptive.
I wonder if the conditioning in the barrels affects the colors at all.
I think so.
It is just tingly on my palate.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think it contributes to the darker color. I believe. And you said this was it kind of hung out in wine barrels. Okay, I can pick that up.
Yep. She is sour.
Yeah.
It's almost got like a wine mouthfeel to it,
Oh yeah.
except the carbonation, obviously.
Maybe that I think that might have contributed to the ABV also.
Wow.
It's just like, whew.
It's a little it's definitely the most intense sour flavor concentrated sour ale that I've ever tasted.
If we had to leave a review, do you think that James Brown soundbite would be accurate?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I wish we could leave audio reviews on Beer Advocate because that's what we would do.
Oh.
I don't know. It's good, but it's just I think it's a little too crazy for me.
I just burped again, and it tasted a little bit like nail polish remover smells.
It's got some like fruity funkiness and booch sort of, kind of qualities to it. Vinegary, like you said. It's just very funky and intense.
I'm feeling it tingly on my palate.
Oh my god, stop.
Reminded me of the girl from Despicable Me going, "It's so fluffy!"
Oh, it's so fluffy, I'm gonna die.
We gotta rate this.
See, out of trying a lot of sours this week, this is the one, uniquely enough, that the tartness of the smell before does not match anything within the taste.
Right.
And I think that's something that I don't know if I like. Because I like it to kind of complement it if it doesn't, I don't know, if it doesn't exactly match up.
Yeah.
If it's like a watermelon or like I tried a cranberry ale
Okay.
from someone last week and it's like, oh, you're opening a bottle of
I wish you could have
Welch's.
tried Vera.
Me too.
Cream ale.
Yeah, you would have liked it.
Really?
The pistachio one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Zach's obsessed with it.
I'm a little bitch boy for pistachio. So
I know what you're saying though. Like, we cracked it open, poured it in a glass. It smelled similar to other wild ales and sour ales that we've had before, but it doesn't give way to how this tastes at all.
at all.
Nope.
Which is again not a bad thing. It's just you're surprised when you taste it.
I do like that out of this one, the intensity that comes with it, which is something that I've had from sours before, Well, the intensity kind of stays with you in your stomach, and I'm not getting that from this one, personally.
You mean it's light on the stomach?
Yeah.
I can feel that.
Okay.
So it's not like upsetting. Yeah, it's smoother, I guess. But like you look at the bottom of the glass and you can see like the little seeds.
Yeah, they're hanging out. Fruit pulp, maybe. Did
Just
they say
pulp hanging out?
Did they say if it was made with real fruit?
It did not.
Okay. Well, maybe.
Somebody
Maybe
just took like a piece of watermelon that they bit into and spit the seeds into the beer.
I hope they didn't
blended
just
it
add
up,
the pulp.
put it in a bottle. Yep.
Scott, spit it in again.
They have the person's name on each of the bottles.
Yeah.
The person
spit in
that's spitting your beer this time.
No, it's like Lush. They'll have the picture, but it's like a very, very poor resolution
Yes.
Photoshop edit.
Yes. And it's just, he looks sad.
The wrinkles are way too pronounced.
Yes.
Yeah. I really, really like it, but I also really, really like the packaging.
Yeah, the art's really cool.
You should have
Yeah.
seen the box. The box is so cute.
It's in
Really?
the fridge. Yeah.
The watermelon with bat wings. New Halloween costume.
Spooky watermelon. That's me. You go door to door and everyone's like, what the fuck is this guy?
Don't worry about it, man.
Don't worry about it. Just give me candy.
It's existential. Don't worry about it.
Don't you worry about it, none. You want to get into grizzly bears? Are you
Yeah.
okay?
It's just it's intense. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
So are you
yeah.
feeling the opposite of what I was just saying,
I
where
think
it's
so.
kind of sticking with you a little bit in the chest?
As I had to drink some water, you know.
Wash it down a bit.
Just kind of coats your mouth and sticks around. Okay. The grizzly bear, also known as the North American brown bear, or simply grizzly, is a population or subspecies of the brown bear inhabiting North America. But what is North America? You see, beginning in the late Paleozoic era, North America was joined with the other modern-day continents as part of the supercontinent Pangaea.
What is happening? What are you doing?
It's Michael from Vsauce. Your face right now.
Oh, you didn't get the... I'm very upset. You got the reference.
Yeah, it's Vsauce. Come on now.
Listen to Vsauce.
Clearly you don't.
What are you?
No, you don't.
It was horrible. That was just
I liked it.
unnecessary.
Thanks. Grizzly.
Don't say thanks like I was trying to insult you.
Grizzly comes from Lewis and Clark's description of grizzly, Grisley, which could be interpreted as either grizzly, referring to grizzled, like gray-tipped hair, or gristly, Grisly, which is fear-inspiring, now usually gruesome.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
So people don't say grizzly anymore to refer to that. They just say gruesome, apparently. The modern spelling supposes the former meaning. Even so, naturalist George Ord classified it in 1815 as U. horribilis for its character.
Oh, because it's horrible.
Exactly. So the scientific name, Ursus arctos horribilis. It's the full scientific name.
Horrible bear.
Can
right?
you imagine just getting that name? Like, poor grizzly bears.
I know.
Just getting such
What
a
did they do to
shitty
deserve
name,
it?
except, what they do.
But it's a subspecies of U. arctos. In addition to the mainland grizzly, other morphological forms of brown bear in North America are sometimes identified as grizzly bears. These include two living populations, the Kodiak bear and the peninsular grizzly, as well as 3 extinct species.
Ooh.
Not fun.
Brown bears originated in Eurasia and traveled to North America approximately 50,000 years ago, spreading into the contiguous United States about 13,000 years ago.
Land bridge.
Yeah, definitely.
Through Pangea?
No, that was a Vsauce fact. However, by 1928, only 7 grizzly species remained, and by 1953, only 1 species remained globally. However, modern genetic testing reveals the grizzly to be a subspecies of the brown bear. Biologist R.L. Rausch found that North America has but 1 species of grizzly. Therefore, everywhere it is the brown bear. In North America, it is the grizzly.
Interesting.
But these are all the same species. Coastal grizzlies, often referred to by the popular but geographically redundant synonym of brown bear or Alaskan brown bear, are larger and darker than inland grizzlies, which is why they too were considered a different species. Kodiak grizzlies were also at one time considered distinct. Therefore, at one time there were 5 different species of brown bear, including 3 in North America. I have some photos.
I'm excited.
When you were talking about the Lewis and Clark thing, when I was reading about this topic, I actually read some of their writings about the different species, and they commonly referred to the brown bear as a white bear.
Oh.
Even though obviously none of them are white, and they were making speculations on whether or not their hair turned gray, and that's
you're
why they called them white.
Telling me that Lewis and Clark were idiots?
Yeah, they were idiots in some respects. You
They
can't
didn't know
be
their
perfect.
colors.
That's true.
But I think when I was reading, someone was going through and just saying they were only trying to make them distinct from the black bear, and they were
that was
going,
my
okay,
assumption,
it's not the black bear. So
But there
it's the white
is there was a photo on Wikipedia. This is a white gray cub. Technically a grizzly.
Cute.
bear. Oh, see, that makes sense then.
That's how I'm
Technically
going
a
to get
grizzly bear.
murdered.
From one of those.
Yeah, I'm going to pet something I shouldn't.
Get its jaw wrapped around your cranium.
Someday
this
it'll be a
is-
crocodile.
Here's a grizzly bear.
Majestic.
And there's another grizzly bear.
Ooh,
And then it's turned into the History Channel.
this one's big.
Alaskan brown bear. So
Okay, he
looks a little
looks
bit
mean.
different.
Do you go into the body dimensions of a grizzly bear?
Yes.
Because I am curious.
Yeah.
He's got a hump.
And then this is the Kodiak bear. He's got a funny face.
He does have a funny face. I want to give it a smooch.
squishy. You see it? It's squishy.
Wasn't there a cartoon about a bear?
Yeah, Yogi Bear.
It was like a child's cartoon.
Yogi Bear was a child's cartoon.
Yeah, not like
There's
older
Wee-
child's. There was a younger child's cartoon.
Wee
like
Bear
a-
Bears.
I don't know.
the Bear Bears?
There's Bear in the Big Blue House.
Maybe I'm thinking of Berenstein bears.
Berenstein Bears.
It's Stain.
It's Stain.
Stain.
That's right. Berenstain bears.
Bearstein.
It's fucked up.
I'll die on this hill.
Mandela effect just fucking up our pronunciations.
I will die on this hill.
The next bullet point.
Go ahead.
Most adult female grizzlies weigh 290 to 400 pounds, while adult males weigh on average 400 to 790 pounds.
So what you're telling me is I could take on a full-grown grizzly.
Average total length is 6.5 feet, with an average shoulder height of 3.35 feet and hindfoot length of 11 inches.
They ain't even that big. Let's go.
Newborn bears may weigh less than 1.1 pounds. Inland grizzlies normally weigh less. So inland grizzlies, talking about inland grizzlies, normally weigh less, about 200 to 300 pounds for a female, and 600 pounds for a male. And they weigh less than their coastal counterparts, where coastal bears weigh about 500 pounds for a female and 900 pounds for a male.
That's a big boy.
Occasionally, larger grizzlies have been recorded, with weights reported up to 1,500 pounds.
Hot damn.
A large coastal male of this size may stand up to 9.8 feet tall
Baby
on its hind legs and
Jesus.
be up to 4.9 feet at the shoulder.
At the shoulder?
Here's a height comparison that's just a standard grizzly bear.
The biggin.
Holy glob.
There's no indication of how tall that man is. I'd like to think 6 feet.
That man,
Average height for a...
he looks
yeah.
stout.
Yeah.
That's a biggin.
Big bear.
I want to pet it.
It's dead.
Oh.
The casual nature of just the slight head turn. It's dead.
Yeah, that's why I was standing next to him like that. Although variable in color from blonde to nearly black, grizzly bear fur is typically brown with darker legs and commonly white or blonde tipped fur on the flank and back. So that might have some tie-in with what
Right
you're
on
saying.
the flank. Gotta love those blonde flanks.
Good old bear flank.
Oh. Got a little weird.
Characteristics include a pronounced muscular hump appears on the adult grizzly's shoulders.
Me too.
Black bears do not have this hump.
Oh.
Aside from the distinguishing hump, a grizzly bear can be identified by a dished-in profile of their face with short, rounded ears, whereas a black bear has a straight face profile and longer ears.
Oh.
A grizzly bear can also be identified by its rump, which is lower than its shoulders. A black bear's rump is higher than its shoulders. And a grizzly bear's front claws measure 2 to 4 inches in length. A black bear's claws measure about 1 to 2 inches in length.
So it's not proportional to their rump.
That's grizzly bear claws.
Those are the claws of a killer.
They will fuck you right up.
Oh, yeah.
They usually use them for digging.
In case you were wondering, they'll fuck your shit up.
Brown bears are found in Asia. I still have a lot to go through, so just
Dude, keep
bear
going.
with me. Okay.
Bear
Brown bears.
with you.
Oh, nice. How long were you working on that one?
Yeah, they're found in Asia, Europe, and North America, giving them the widest range of any bear species. They also previously inhabited North Africa.
What?
Yeah, there were bears in Africa. In North America, grizzly bears previously ranged from Alaska down to Mexico and as far east as the western shores of Hudson Bay. I don't know where that's at.
What?
The species is now found in Alaska, south through much of western Canada, and into portions of the northwestern United States, extending as far as south as Yellowstone. In Canada, there are approximately 25,000 grizzly bears occupying the majority of the western provinces. There are currently about 55,000 wild grizzly bears located throughout North America, 30,000 of which are found in Alaska. Only around 1,500 grizzlies remain in the lower 48 states. Of these, around 800 are found in Montana. About 600 more live in Wyoming in the Yellowstone area. There are an estimated 70 to 100 grizzly bears living in northern and eastern Idaho.
Do we have any bears in Illinois?
No, not anymore. Well, not brown bears. There might be black bears.
None?
Nope.
No bears at all?
Nope.
Wild.
I wasn't sure about black bears.
I just sent out my echolocation. I asked them.
Got it.
They're not there.
Your bear
In-
location.
In the North Cascades ecosystem of northern Washington, grizzly bear populations are estimated to be fewer than 20 bears. One sighting of a grizzly bear in 2010 has been recorded. So, like North Washington into Canada, this is a map of the of North America. So it shows you got to kind of get in.
The bear range.
Okay.
What is that? Present.
Present.
I should be reading up here. Post glacial. So it's all of this. Post glacial. And then historic is just like Mexico up the western coast of North America, and then that word is present. It's really just.
And that word
So
is present.
for everybody to describe kind of where it's at, it's going from about Alaska. Can I see it again? It's like a big blob that goes from Alaska through, it looks like most of Canada until it hits Lake Superior, right? Or Ontario.
I don't know my legs.
The big lake.
I don't
yeah.
know my legs. I don't know geography.
And then pretty much down, it looks like it loops through most of the northwestern states and then kind of dips a little bit into Wyoming on the western side. Western quarter, would you say?
Yeah, so you've got, well, that's the historic range. You might still find bears, I guess, occupying those states, but it's rare.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Kansas, what is the state? Nebraska?
Let me see.
That's Nebraska. South Dakota. So kind of like bordering those, Oklahoma. But they're more centralized to the northwestern
I
part.
like that you pointed at Oklahoma and said South Dakota.
I didn't point when I said South Dakota.
You did point.
You gestured,
No,
which
that's
is
Oklahoma.
very different.
And I didn't
Paige.
point when I said Oklahoma either. This is South Dakota.
Did I ask for you to gang
That's
up on me?
Nebraska. I know my states.
I don't know your legs.
Grizzly bears hibernate for 5 to 7 months each year, except where the climate is warm, as the California grizzly did not hibernate.
You ever seen Dr. Dolittle?
Yes.
You know the scene where they talk about bears going into hibernation because there's that movie where he comes across a bear and he like helps the bear.
It's been a long time since I saw it.
Okay, but there's a movie where he comes across a bear and he's talking to the bear and
I
he's trying to
believe
hide the bear. But there's a scene where they talk about how bears go into hibernation and they eat and plug their butts so they don't poop
What?
when
Oh.
they're hibernating.
Is that real?
I don't know. I'm asking you. You did the research.
I didn't see anything about
Bears
butt
do
plugs. Bear butt
organic
plugs.
butt plugs.
Yeah. Bunch of cranberries.
Yeah.
Yeah, no record of that, but
Wait, wouldn't they be called cranberries?
Oh dear God! Cram them up your butt berries.
they would be. So the California grizzly is extinct. They did not hibernate because it was warmer.
Oh,
During this time, female grizzly bears give birth to their offspring, who then consume milk from their mother and gain strength for the remainder of the hibernation period. To prepare for hibernation, grizzlies must prepare a den and consume an immense amount of food, as they do not eat during hibernation. Grizzly bears do not defecate or urinate throughout the entire hibernation period.
because their butts are
Damn.
plugged.
Yep. The male
Plugged up.
grizzly bear's hibernation ends in early to mid-March, while females emerge in April or early May. In preparation for winter, bears can gain approximately 400 pounds
Me too.
during a period of hyperphagia,
Yeah.
which is an abnormally strong sensation of hunger or desire to eat,
Yeah, I
often
get that all
leading
the time.
to accompanied by overeating.
Yep. Me.
I think I had that yesterday.
Hyperphagia before going into hibernation. The bear often waits for a substantial snowstorm before it enters its den. This lessens the chances of predators finding them. The dens are typically at elevations above 5,900 feet on north-facing slopes.
What is a predator that a bear is scared of?
Other bears, mostly. Yeah, they just want to be left alone.
Okay.
Although inland or Rocky Mountain grizzlies spend nearly half of their life in dens, coastal grizzlies with better access to food sources spend less time in dens. In some areas where food is very plentiful year-round, grizzly bears skip hibernation altogether. Except for females with cubs, grizzlies are normally solitary, active animals. I wish that could just be my life.
Yeah, right.
No, you don't.
Solitary and active. But in coastal areas, grizzlies gather around streams, lakes, rivers, and ponds during the salmon spawn. Grizzly bears do not reach sexual maturity until they are at least 5 years old. They have one of the lowest reproductive rates of all terrestrial mammals in North America. This is due to numerous ecological factors. Male grizzlies have large territories of about 1,500 square miles.
Wow.
That's
Damn.
fucking huge. Making finding a female scent difficult in such low population densities. That's
How
one
do
reason.
grizzly bears mark their territory?
They probably pee, just like other animals.
I was imagining like a pheromone thing, like cats with their like necks,
They probably piss
or
on
like
shit.
scratching.
Yeah. Females
sense.
produce 1 to 4 young, usually 2.
1
that
to
are,
4.
That are that's 1 to 4. It's 2. That are small and weigh only about 1 pound at birth. Females are protective of their offspring and will attack if she thinks she or her cubs are threatened.
Do you have a picture of a baby bear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up and coming.
Okay.
They'll care for the cubs for up to 2 years, and the mother will not mate during the 2 years. Cubs are always born in the mother's winter den while she is in hibernation, and they feed on their mother's milk until summer comes, after which they still drink milk but begin to eat solid foods. Cubs gain weight rapidly during their time with the mother, usually increasing from about 10 pounds to 100 pounds
Damn.
over the course of 2 years. So they gain 90 pounds in 2 years.
Shit. That's a lot of poundage. That's a lot of lbs right there.
That's a lot of bear.
Did you know that every pound is 4 pounds on your joint?
Joint.
Like I deflated.
It sucks. I don't
But
like
you know what they say though. Motion is the lotion
Yep.
for your joints. So keep it moving.
Keep them moving.
Don't you tell me what to do.
Motion is the lotion.
Mothers may see their cubs in later years, but they both avoid each other.
That's weird.
They don't want
That's like
anything
an
to do
awkward
with
family
it. They like
reunion.
just kind of like walk past each other.
They're like, hey.
Hey, what's up?
You birthed me. Can
They
we go
don't
now?
even say what's up. Do they do the high school male
Yeah.
the head back,
little
the tilt?
Head
Hey,
tilt.
Mom.
Once the young leave or are killed, females may not produce another litter for 3 or more. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Okay.
Okay, good.
They may not produce another litter for 3 or more years, depending on environmental conditions. So, this is a bear with her little cubs.
Aww.
Cubs.
Is there any pictures that exist of like a newborn bear? I can look it up if you don't have any.
Oh, they're so tiny.
Aw, they're so tiny.
Oh, itty bitty.
Oh, that looks like a freaking lab.
Yeah, it looks like a dog. They grow a lot.
Yeah. Especially in that first couple years, looks like.
Yeah, they look like little dogs. They're about the size of baby dogs.
Baby dogs. Not puppies.
Baby dogs. The average lifespan for a male is estimated at 22 years, females slightly longer at 26 years. Females live longer than males due to their less dangerous life. They do not engage in seasonal breeding fights as males do. The oldest wild inland grizzly was 34 years old in Alaska. The oldest coastal bear was 39. But most grizzlies die in their first year of life. Captive grizzlies have lived as long as 44 years.
Damn.
Grizzlies have a tendency to chase fleeing animals and can run at speeds of about 35 miles per hour, which
Damn.
is comparable to a horse.
So can Michael Scott.
Yeah. In addition, they can climb trees to an extent. Although grizzlies are of the order Carnivora and have the digestive system of carnivores, they are normally omnivores. They have been known to prey on large mammals when available, such as moose, elk, caribou, white-tailed deer, mule,
my-
deer, bighorn sheep, bison, and even black bears.
God, I would really not want to see a fight between a moose and a bear.
Though they are more likely to take calves and injured individuals rather than healthy adults. They like to cheat their way to their food.
How's that cheating?
Motherfucker.
Yeah,
Survival of the fittest, baby.
Yeah, that's what it is. They feed on fish such as salmon, trout, and bass, and those with access to a more protein-enriched diet in coastal areas potentially grow larger than inland individuals. That's kind of why they weigh more, they get bigger. It's because they have access to fish, have a lot of protein.
You think a polar bear has ever fought an orca?
Yes.
An orca, probably.
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
I don't know if like anyone wins. The orca probably just swims away.
I feel like a worker would fuck somebody up.
Polar bears are mean. Grizzlies also readily scavenge for food or carrion left behind other animals. They will also eat birds and their eggs and gather in large numbers at fishing sites to feed on spawning salmon. They frequently prey on baby deer left in the grass, and occasionally they raid the nests of raptors such as bald eagles.
Raptors?
Yeah.
Good God.
The fucking...
Yeah,
you
the
got grizzly bears
classification of
in the
birds.
west, and then you've got velociraptors out there as well.
Clever
and they
girl.
fight all the time.
Do you think they do that Nacho Libre sequence where they climb a hill or they climb a mountain, eat some eagle eggs, and they dive off?
Why do you have that scene like so locked in?
Because of the fart.
Because of the fart?
And I'm picturing if they did that, they would probably release their butt plug and be like, "It's time to eat."
It's time to, need to start eating now. In Yellowstone National Park, the grizzly bear's diet consists mostly of white bark pine nuts, tubers, grasses, various rodents, army cutworm moths, and scavenged carcasses. Probably one of my favorite words, tubers.
Tubers.
None of these, however, match the fat content of the salmon available in Alaska and British Columbia. Because of this, it is not uncommon to encounter grizzlies in Alaska weighing up to 1,200 pounds, like we mentioned. A lot of fish. Grizzlies in Alaska supplement their diet of salmon and clams with sedgegrass and berries.
What is the sedge grass?
It's like normal grass, but it's got a little more sedge to it.
Okay.
In areas where salmon are forced to leap waterfalls, grizzlies gather at the base of the falls to feed on and catch the fish. Some males will often fight for the best fishing spots. I thought I had a photo.
Black bears have fecal plugs. They have butt plugs.
Oh, they do have butt plugs.
They do have butt plugs.
Fecal plugs.
I was watching a video and I was doing this research. Let me show you a little bit because it's really it's impressive.
I'm prepared.
This is going to be the end.
Shut up.
Is that David Attenborough?
I don't know, maybe.
It's BBC Earth.
Yep. That means it's David Attenborough.
Exactly.
Look at all those bears.
That's a lot of bears.
Damn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
All chilling at the same waterfall.
I counted 14.
I wonder if them sitting down at the bottom has anything to do with trying to get the salmon to swim upstream. Because I know salmon do that naturally.
Yeah, they're swimming from the ocean to spawn their eggs.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that Futurama episode where they're fish.
Yeah. Good episode.
The relationship between grizzly bears and other predators is mostly one-sided. Grizzly bears will approach feeding predators to steal their kill. In general, the other species will leave the carcasses for the bear to avoid competition or predation. With the introduction of gray wolves to Yellowstone, many visitors have witnessed a once common struggle between the bears and wolves, which has been under considerable study. Typically, the conflict will be in the defense of young or over a carcass, which is commonly an elk killed by wolves. So here, I'll describe the sitch for you, the wolf and bear sitch. The bear uses its keen sense of smell to locate the kill. As the wolves and grizzly compete for the kill, one wolf may try to distract the bear while the others feed. The bear then may retaliate by chasing the wolves. If the wolves become aggressive with the bear, it is normally in the form of quick nips at its hind legs. Thus, the bear will sit down and use its ability to protect itself in a full circle. So
Me
it's just
too.
kind of
Swipes.
I just do this. I armadillo. I'm just like...
get out of here. Rarely do interactions such as these end in death or serious injury to either animal. One carcass simply is not usually worth the risk to either party. Cougars generally maintain a safe distance away from grizzlies. They have less competition with cougars than with other predators such as coyotes, wolves, and other bears. When a grizzly descends on a cougar feeding on its kill, the cougar usually gives way to the bear. When a cougar does stand its ground, it will use its superior agility and its claws to harass the bear, yet stay out of reach until one of them gives up.
That's because a bear gonna fuck you up. You get close.
Yeah, watch out. Black bears generally stay out of grizzly bear territory, but grizzlies may occasionally enter black bear terrain to obtain food sources both bears enjoy, such as pine nuts, acorns, mushrooms, and berries. When a black bear sees a grizzly coming, it either turns tail and runs or climbs a tree.
Or climbs a tree.
Black bears are cute.
Yeah, black bears do a better job at climbing trees than brown bears do. The grizzly bear has several relationships with its ecosystem. One such relationship is a mutualistic relationship with fleshy fruit-bearing plants. After the grizzly consumes the fruit, the seeds are exploded violently out of its asshole and thereby dispersed in a germinable condition.
Violently. Along with the rest of the butt plug.
Just a minute. Just.
It's a shotgun. Their asshole going, bah!
Just pop.
Jumps in the air because it gets freaked out.
What came out of the butt?
when a dog farts.
It scares itself.
Why did you say that while I was taking a drink? That hurt.
The Wikipedia article didn't say that. That was just my interpretation of what
I appreciate your
hoping it would happen.
interpretations.
Some studies have shown germination success is indeed increased as a result of seeds being deposited along with nutrients in the bear poop. While foraging for tree roots, plant bulbs, or ground squirrels, bears stir up the soil. Their big long claws. This process not only helps grizzlies access their food, but also increases species richness in alpine ecosystems. Along with increasing species richness, soil disturbance introduces nitrogen into the environment. So think when you get your lawn aerated, you know, it's kind of what they're doing. It helps the lawn and it helps the environment around the lawn. Because nitrogen into the
I'm just imagining grizzly bears just coming out of their den and just like decorating their lawn like a little gardening.
Yeah, they're punching holes.
Yeah, just gardening, growing a tree.
Grizzlies directly regulate prey populations and also help prevent overgrazing in forests by controlling the populations of other species in the food chain. This, in turn, changed the structure and density of plants in the area, which decreased the population sizes of migratory birds. This provides evidence grizzly bears represent a keystone predator, having a major influence on the entire ecosystem they inhabit. That's what a keystone predator is, and grizzlies are one of them. Native American... Almost done. Oh, boy. Oh, kind of.
Don't worry, brother.
Native American tribes, Sympatric...
That has nothing to do with the other.
It has nothing to do with Patrick the Star.
Okay.
Sympatric means existing together, specifically relating to animals and humans.
So coexisting?
Coexisting.
Wait, what's the word? Because I hear you saying Saint Patrick.
Sympatric.
Oh, Sympatric.
Okay. Yep. Native American tribe Sympatric with brown bears often view them with a mixture of awe and fear. North American brown bears have at times been so feared by the natives that they were rarely hunted by them, especially when alone. At traditional grizzly hunts in some western tribes, such as the Quichin, the expedition was conducted with the same preparation and ceremoniality as intertribal warfare, and it was never done except with a company of 4 to 10 warriors. The tribe members who dealt the killing blow were highly esteemed among their compatriots.
You kill a grizzly bear, you're going to be getting, some poon.
Yep, and I thought I had that picture saved too, but I don't, so I will pull it up on
Wikipedia.
It's right here.
What'd you do, Derek?
I
killed a bear.
Native American male, who presumably killed that bear that is now acting as a pelt.
Big bear.
Yep.
Did you just say that his name was Darren?
Derek.
Derek.
Yeah, Derek the
the Native American man.
Derek the guy.
Derek the guy.
I am Sunflower Bear Tree. Yeah, I'm Derek.
Hey. I killed a bear, though. Derek.
Oh, Derek.
Oh.
Grizzlies are considered more aggressive compared to black bears when defending themselves and their offspring. Unlike the smaller black bears, adult grizzlies do not climb trees well and respond to danger by standing their ground and warding off their attackers.
You ever seen a sun bear?
Yeah, they look weird.
They're always looking like they're confused.
And just deprived of nutrition.
Or like someone's trying to sell them like a used car.
Yeah, they need to eat something. Mothers defending cubs are the most prone to attacking and are responsible for 70% of humans killed by grizzlies.
Really?
Grizzly bears normally avoid contact with people. In spite of their obvious physical advantage, they rarely actively hunt humans. Keyword rarely. Most grizzly bear attacks result from a bear that has been surprised at very close range. They don't like surprises, especially if it has a supply of food to protect or female grizzlies protecting their offspring. So compared to sharks, we talked about the stats for shark attacks every year. It's really not anywhere remotely
Yeah, sharks are misunderstood.
people need to worry about. It's so low, negligible. But so compared to sharks, which average about 16, I think, attacks a year, there are about 40 bear attacks around the world each year. A little bit higher, but still, that's very, very, very low. Because of that, bear awareness programs have been developed by communities in grizzly bear territory to help prevent conflicts with both black and grizzly bears.
Bear awareness.
Bear awareness.
No, bear awareness.
Bear awareness.
Bear awareness.
The main premise of these programs is to teach humans to manage foods that bears are attracted to. Keeping garbage securely stored, harvesting fruit when ripe, securing livestock behind electric fences, and storing pet food indoors are all measures promoted by bear awareness programs. Bear awareness. Traveling in groups of 6 or more can significantly reduce the chance of bear-related injuries while hiking in bear country. I'm fucking screwed because I don't even have 6 friends, so
You don't have 6 friends.
I would probably be hiking.
Yeah, but I can take on a full-grown grizzly by myself.
Okay, so
you're fine.
You count as 5 friends, and then me, and then we'll be okay.
And then I stink.
Yeah.
So I can probably just fart in its general direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Grizzly bears are especially dangerous because of the force of their bite, which has been measured at over 8 megapascals.
Oh my
a
God.
full 8.
A full chameleon
A
from
full-
Rapunzel,
a full-
the Disney princess.
8 megapascals, yeah. That's
Good God.
1,160 psi. To put that in America terms.
Can you compare that to a crocodile's bite?
Sure.
Thank you.
Can you think about that? That animal can bite almost equal to its own weight in pounds per square inch.
I don't fuck with a grizzly bear.
Saltwater crocodiles, 3,700 pounds per square inch. So about twice that. But with grizzlies, it has been estimated that a bite from a grizzly could even crush a bowling ball.
Oh yeah,
Hot
I believe it.
potato.
You know,
Damn.
don't fuck with them. The grizzly bear is listed as threatened in the contiguous United States and endangered in parts of Canada. The grizzly bear currently has a legal protection in Mexico, European countries, some areas of Canada, and in all of the United States. However, it is expected that repopulating its former range will be a slow process due to various reasons, including the bear's slow reproductive habits. They don't want to fuck, and the efforts of reintroducing such a large animal to areas prized for agriculture and livestock. Makes sense. Conservation efforts have become an increasingly vital investment over recent decades. As population numbers have dramatically declined, establishment of parks and protected areas are one of the main focuses currently being tackled to help reestablish the low grizzly bear population in British Columbia. In the U.S., national efforts have been made since 1982 for the recovery plan of grizzlies. A lot of the efforts made have been through different organization efforts to educate the public on grizzly bear safety, habits of grizzly bears, and different ways to reduce human-bear conflict. The Interagency Grizzly Bear Recovery Committee, or IGBRC,
Egerberg.
is one of many organizations committed to the recovery of grizzly bears in the lower 48 states. There are 5, count them 5,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did
recovery
it.
zones for grizzly bears in these states, including the North Cascades ecosystem in Washington. And my last and final
Fucking
bullet point.
finally.
Fucking
Jesus Christ.
The National Park Service and U.S. Fish and Wildlife initiated the process of an environmental impact statement that started in the fall of 2014 to begin the recovery process of grizzly bears to the North Cascades region. Point being, they're trying to introduce them back in. They're a protected species. They shouldn't be hunted. They shouldn't be messed with. They're very misunderstood.
They're a detrimental part to our environment.
But don't fuck with them if they got food or if it's some.
Just
or
don't fuck with
babbies.
grizzly bears. Please just don't fuck with grizzly bears.
I don't know if you've seen.
Typing sound.
I don't know if you've seen this video. Yeah, he's taking pictures. Hey.
J Pro C
Bear
Daddy.
sits next to guy.
That is the name
Yeah.
of this YouTube account.
J Proc Daddy.
J Proc Daddy.
If you want to watch the video we just watched,
J Proc Daddy.
look up J Proc Daddy.
Bear sits next to guy. That is what it is called.
That is my section.
Wow.
That is probably the longest background section I've had on an episode. Thanks for sticking with me. A lot of bear facts.
It's pretty good though.
God swears.
Yeah.
Got a lot of information, and I think a lot of it connects back to, I don't know about you, Paige, but my story that I'm going to be telling.
Did you find it?
I'm reciting it from memory.
Okay.
because I saved it on my computer, and it's not there anymore.
So go ahead.
So,
We got this.
You can't find it at all?
no.
Oh,
I
shit.
saved it to my Google Drive, and it wasn't there on either of my accounts.
It sucks.
It happens, though. So I'll be retelling the story from memory of Remy Warren.
What a name.
He is I don't know how he was connected with Joe Rogan, but he had him on his podcast.
So you're
And
going to say Joe Mama.
yeah, Joe Mama. And I don't really listen anymore, so I don't know if he's been back. So I don't remember what his kind of purpose for being there, other than the bear attack story. But him and his brother Steve and 4 friends went on a elk hunting expedition. My brain wanted to combine all of those words. Elk hunting expedition on Fogneck Island in Alaska. And where this kind of connects back to what you were saying about their size proportions is that some of the largest grizzly bears and elk have been found on this island in the entire world. So they're going on this, I think, week-long expedition, and it's horrible conditions. This island has a large mountain on it that is very steep. The vegetation goes about, I would say, anywhere from knee height to taller than a man. And it was reported that you could only see about 3 feet in front of you in any direction.
Oh, so it's completely safe.
Yeah, so completely safe. You know exactly where you're at the whole time. And there were 100-mile-per-hour winds. Lots of rain.
Damn.
Yep. Lots of rain.
So my question is, did they check the weather before they went on this trip, or were they just like, fuck it?
I think they just went fuck it, but I'm not sure because when they did this, I think the whole aspect of going to Fogneck Island was it's going to be difficult.
No matter what
given
we do.
given the conditions, let's just say the weather was perfect. Still, the vegetation, the placement of where it's at, because you
Yeah.
have to go there by plane.
Oh. You can't take a boat?
You could take a boat, I guess, but you usually do seaplane for
One of the
efficiency.
seaplanes, yeah.
Seaplane.
I'm not gonna fact check you this entire
No, go
time,
ahead.
but it's because I looked it up because I wanted to look at it. It's a Fogneck, Afognak, a Fogneck Island, and it's got 3.5 stars on Google.
That's like the freaking
You reviewed
Bermuda
the
Triangle.
island.
Yeah, so some people. Oh, I just had them pulled up. Some people did leave reviews for it. There was a 5-star review by some guy that he said, "I go here every summer and I love it. Awesome to learn about my heritage and where my family grew up."
Interesting.
A Fogneck. Are you going to do this every episode? Yeah, the Google Translate. I know how to say this one, so I'm just going to say it.
Fogneck.
5-star review says, "Wild, free, and untrammeled." This one's 3 stars only. Super beautiful. Park ranger helped with directions. It's a great spot. Then, tall bear and hat. Together with smaller bear,
Tall bear and hat.
took our picnic basket and ran off on 2 legs. Oh my god.
Yogi Bear.
Okay, continue.
But they go to this island, anticipating a difficult journey, but not as difficult as they were anticipating because of the weather conditions.
Okay.
So they're hiking along, and at this point, Remy's brother Steve had shot an elk, killed it. So
Nice.
they gathered the materials and they kept going, and I think it was 3 days in. They're hiking, and they've been hiking for about 10 hours. They stop
you so
at about
tired.
3 a.m. Yep, and they get
Damn.
back to camp, and they're like, "All right, we need to eat. We're so hungry."
You got that elk.
Yep, got the elk, and they've got other stuff that they brought too. So
Sure.
they decide to stop to make some coffee and stoop some soup.
Stoop some soup.
Stoop some soup,
Okay.
baby.
Stoop kid needs to leave his soup.
So if I can kind of paint the picture here, they're kind of in a small valley, so just 20 to 30 feet wide, and then it starts getting steep again on the edge of this mountain. And I think it's behind them or next to them, there's a very steep drop down the mountain.
Okay.
So they're sitting in a circle making this over a fire. And normally Remy would keep his pack with him while they're walking, and he would keep his pistol in his pack. And normally he would take the pack off and then he would put his gun in his holster.
But this wasn't a normal day.
But this wasn't a normal day. So he decided to just leave it in the pack for now.
Foolish.
Yep. Very foolish. At this point, they were used to seeing about 6 to 7 bears every day
Okay.
on this trip. And Remy cites this as kind of being the reason why they let their guard down, because they were so used to seeing them.
Yep.
Rather than it
But they were
being
just
like a bear.
Yeah, exactly. Because the first couple days they would be like bear, 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 and then after that they were like, okay,
it's
well
fucking
they're
bear.
chill here. So
There are bears that live here. We've
Yeah.
deduced that.
exactly. So they're in this circle going around, and Remy is sitting across from his pack, which normally he would use as a seat. I guess because of the size of it, he would lean up against it, right? So his pistol would be right next to him, and he didn't want to fumble for it because he didn't want to be perceived as that guy that always wanted his gun on him.
That's so specific.
Yeah. So he just kept the pack across from the fire from him, and another guy named Garrett was either next to him or 2 guys over from him. And no, Garrett is later on.
Okay.
But anyways, they're sitting in the circle, right? And Steve is right next to Remy's pack. Steve is stewing the coffee and he goes, I hear something. And right at that moment, Remy locks eyes with the bear, rushing at them at about 30 miles an hour. And he said at this point, he had seen him 30 yards away, right? Good distance. He saw him, locked eyes with the bear, said, I'm going to go get my gun. Didn't literally say it.
Right.
But in his head, reaches for his gun and he goes, I don't have enough time because this bear is coming so fucking fast.
Yeah.
So he does a little juke, left, right, spins around so he can at least get out of the way while the guy next to him picks up a trekking pole that was, about 3 feet behind him to his right. Grabs the trekking pole, swings it, and hits the bear in the mouth. So the bear takes off to the right, while Remy, when he was doing his little spin
dance.
move, his little dance, Remy goes to the left, circles back around to come get the gun. In that time that it had taken him to do that, the bear had charged them right, come through, and was now heading down that steep hill. So they're essentially kind of trapped in this steep crevice, but then right behind them or to the side of them, there's this steep decline. And Remy has his gun, and he notices that someone's missing, so he goes, count off. And everybody yells, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. He's like, no. Who the fuck is missing? Who's gone? And at that point, he saw Garrett, who I just mentioned. His head pops up out of the bushes, and then he just sees his head go down again as it's bouncing. Then he sees his legs in the air and hears the bear. He's riding the bear.
What the
What?
So, yeah, at some point, they thought that he had charged through. Garrett had started running down the hill for whatever reason. I don't know, to distract the bear, to disperse, whatever. The bear probably swung around, hit him with his hips or something. He didn't swipe him with his paw, but he swung around and ended up on the back of this bear somehow, because now the bear is going down the hill at about 20 miles an hour, and all they see is the bear's hind legs bouncing up and Garrett's legs just bouncing. So they thought that he was in his jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought when you started
Yeah, I
talking
thought he
about
was
it.
eating him.
Yeah, and he was
gosh.
just taking him down the hill. And at this point, they figured out, obviously, Garrett is the one that's down there because they saw his head pop up. So he tries to chase him. But the hill is too steep. So somehow, I don't think any of them saw it because the vegetation was so thick, even on the side of the hill, that Garrett gets away somehow, and he's coming back up. No one sees him do this, but anyways, they know that he's coming back up while the bear has virtually disappeared. They all circle back to kind of their campsite behind some trees. And, a matter of doing that for all 6 of them takes 10, 15 seconds. The bear had now gone into a different direction and was charging them from the opposite direction from which it had come. Yeah, exactly. So it did that, and every time they would go, bear, 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 and yell, right, to trying to distract it. And try and kind of go, okay, there's not just one of us, there's 6.
Yeah.
So he comes from one direction, charges them, disappears. And they're like, okay, staying on the watch out. Comes from the east, the totally opposite direction from which it had come before. And it does that 2 more times.
Jesus.
So it rushes them 3 times. They couldn't successfully hit it or anything after that. But then after that charge, they had figured out that basically what had saved them was the fact that it was so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rather than going, oh, this is one big thing, that it's 6 little things. And when they were yelling, they kind of got out of it. And it was trying to go after their elk.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
And it had probably gotten to it. But the ending is the crazy part because it circles back to the size difference that you were talking about. On this Fognac Island, the bear was shot, I don't know how much later, but by a group of other people that were out there hunting. And they were in a group of 5 or 6 at the same time and shot the bear in self-defense.
Yeah.
And they measured the bear. How big were they? Do you remember?
It's like some of them 9 feet when they're standing.
Yeah, and how many pounds?
600 to 900. Some as big as like 1,400 pounds.
Listen to this. This bear was 11 and a half feet long.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
And they guessed about 1,100 to 1,200 pounds.
That's a biggin'.
It's a big bear.
The elk on this island weigh about 1,400, which normally it's about 800, 900 for a big one.
Yeah.
These are giant animals on this island. So they
Yeah.
had that charge them 3 times. And they said each time that it would charge them, it would basically get to the point where they could touch it. Obviously, the guy hit it with his trekking pole, so he was close enough for that. But each time it would go just enough to come at them with full speed. But every time they would yell bear, it would not make the full charge.
Like
it would
divert.
kind of veer out.
Yeah.
Veer off.
Dang. That's wild.
Yeah. And afterwards, they took videos and were kind of getting people's reactions and ended up being safe.
Shit.
But that was one of the only times that I think I've heard people get that close to getting attacked and that many times without having a scratch on them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they were talking about it recently, and they were saying that for this expedition, they went with the weather conditions, with the bear attack and everything. They fucking hated it. Obviously, they didn't want that shit to happen again.
Sure.
About a year later, they were like, "We gotta go back. That was fun.
That was a good time.
That was a good time.
Gotta see
That
the
was
bear
fun." Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah, but that whole time they were trying to get to a position where they could shoot it, but they couldn't because A, it was going so fast, and then B, they only had 2 pistols.
And it had the high ground.
Anakin.
You were my brother, Anakin! You're supposed to destroy the Sith, not become one.
No, that made me
story.
That made me think of
That was wild,
that was
man.
excellent, and all by memory too.
Yeah, that was very
great.
impressive.
That made me think of
Hey.
the little factoid I had. Groups of 6 or more.
Exactly.
Usually, the bear. I'm sure it noticed that it was outnumbered. It just wanted the food, so I think it was. From my understanding, it was trying to scare the people off to get out of the way so that the bear can eat the elk that they had.
Exactly.
But Yeah, then it eventually fucked off, I'm sure. But and dude got to ride a bear. That's epic.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like,
How many people in this earth could
I
say,
rode a fucking bear.
I rode a fucking bear
that
in
wasn't
Alaska.
domesticated.
That's
the big.
wild.
That's the big part.
He got away with that being cool as fuck.
Hell yeah.
Like, I got to ride a bear.
Exactly.
How do you top that?
Honestly. So I'm a little
can't.
bit tipsy.
That's
Perfect.
all right. Me too.
Cool. So I'm going to read my story. It's about Timothy Treadwell, who was born Timothy Dexter, but changed his name because Treadwell's so much cooler, apparently.
Yeah, Dexter's a nerd name.
It is a nerd name. Timothy Treadwell is an American bear enthusiast, environmentalist, and documentary filmmaker. He's also the founder of the bear protection organization Grizzly People. He had a tendency to, I guess not tendency. He liked to be around bears very often. He was very much a bear enthusiast.
Bear whisperer.
I would say no. He would spend about 13 summers in
Jesus.
I don't know if it's Katmai or Katmai National Park in Alaska. He hung out around, they're coastal brown bears, but he called them grizzly bears, and he's an advocate for grizzly bears, so I'm just going off of his story off of that.
They were, all the same species, I'm sure.
Yeah. So he spent a majority of his sessions camping on the Big Green, which is an open area of bear grass in Halo Bay on the, I don't know if it's Katmai coast. He called the area the Grizzly Sanctuary, and he was known for getting extremely close to the bears, sometimes even touching them and playing with the bear cubs. He wrote a book, and in this book, he claimed that he was always careful with the bears and actually developed a sense of mutual trust and respect with the animals.
That's exactly when you get mauled.
He habitually named the bears he encountered and consistently saw many of the same bears each summer, so claimed to build a standing relationship with them.
So he thought.
In contrast, Tom Smith, a research ecologist, Tom Smith, what a name.
That was one of my best friends in high school.
Tom Smith?
Yeah, middle school, high school. It's Tom
Oh,
Smith.
what a generic name.
Yeah.
A research ecologist with the Alaska Science Center of the U.S. Geological Service declared that Treadwell was breaking every park rule that there was in terms of distance to the bears, harassing wildlife, and interfering with natural processes. Right off the bat, his personal mission was at odds with the Park Service.
Yeah,
He had
all
been
because he
warned-
thinks he's special.
Yeah.
And he could do these things.
He had been warned repeatedly.
friends.
Foolish.
connection.
So silly. During the late part of each summer, he would move to Kaflia Bay and camp in an area of especially thick brush he called the Grizzly Maze. Here, the chances of crossing paths with wild bears were much higher since the location intersected bear trails. Treadwell recorded almost 100 hours of video footage, some of which was later used to create a documentary called Grizzly Man, and produced a large collection of still photography.
I've heard about this.
Yeah?
Yeah, that doc, at least.
It's new to me.
Treadwell claimed to be alone with the wildlife on several occasions in his videos. However, his girlfriend Amy was with him during parts of his last 3 summers of his documentary. The documentary says 2 summers at least. By 2001, Treadwell became sufficiently notable to receive extensive media attention both on television and in environmental circles, and he made frequent public appearances as an environmental activist. He traveled throughout the United States to educate school children about bears and appeared on the Discovery Channel, The Late Show with David Letterman, and Dateline NBC.
All right.
He also co-wrote Among Grizzlies, Living with Wild Bears in Alaska with Jewel Palavac, his coworker with whom he lived for 20 years, which describes his adventures on the Alaska Peninsula. Charlie Russell, who studied bears, raised them, and lived with them in Russia for a decade, worked with Treadwell, and Russell advised Treadwell to carry pepper spray and use electric fences. He originally refrained from commenting on Treadwell afterwards, but after Grizzly Man was released, he wrote a lengthy critique of Treadwell's failure to follow basic safety precautions. So I'm just going to get into the main bulk of the story. In October 2003, Treadwell and his girlfriend, physician assistant Amy, visited Katmai National Park, which is on the Alaska Peninsula, across from Kodiak Island.
Where your story took place, around Kodiak Island.
Amy feared bears and felt very uncomfortable in their presence.
That's a place to go then.
Yeah, not the person to take with you.
In her journal entries, she indicated that she wanted to be away from the park. There was also stories that they had been fighting, and she was going to leave him.
I wonder why.
Was it
Just
over
have
the-
her stay home.
Was it over the fact that maybe he like loves bears and she fucking hates them?
Could be.
And he's spending all of his days and nights with fucking bears.
Treadwell set his campsite near a salmon stream where wild bears commonly feed in autumn. He was in the park later in the year than normal. They decided to stay later because they hadn't seen a female bear that he was accustomed to seeing every trip, and he wanted to take the time to see her.
What a baby.
At a time when bears attempt to gain as much fat as possible before winter, food was scarce that fall, causing the bears to be even more aggressive than usual. Treadwell and Amy were to leave the park at his usual time of year and had actually returned to Kodiak on September 26 to store their gear for the season and catch a connecting flight to return to their home in California. After an argument with the airline ticketer over the price of altering his return ticket, Treadwell and Amy made the decision to return to their campsite on September 29th for an additional week.
Okay.
He also wanted to locate a favorite female bear that he was concerned about.
A female beer, huh?
Female bears! Don't.
The secret savage is a female beer.
He said that he hated modern civilization and felt better in nature with the bears than he did in big cities around humans.
Than he did with his girlfriend Amy.
Yeah, poor Amy. The bears he had been used to doing during the summer had
Jesus,
already. I am
used
not
to
okay.
doing.
Had already gone into hibernation, and bears that Treadwell did not know from other parts of the park were moving into the area. Some of the last footage taken by Treadwell hours before.
That's not a good sign.
Nope.
You're talking about some of the last footage.
Includes video of a bear diving into the river repeatedly for a piece of dead salmon. Treadwell mentioned in the footage that he did not feel entirely comfortable around that particular bear. In Grizzly Man, the director speculates on whether Treadwell filmed the very bear that ended his life.
Which was Werner Herzog, right?
Yes. Around noon on Sunday, October 5th, 2003, Treadwell spoke with an associate in Malibu by satellite phone. Treadwell mentioned no problems with any bears. The next day, October 6th, Willie Fulton, a Kodiak Air taxi pilot, arrived at Treadwell and Amy's campsite to pick them up, but found the area abandoned except for a bear, and contacted the local park rangers. The couple's mangled remains were discovered quickly upon investigation.
Oh, no.
Treadwell's disfigured head, partial spine, and right forearm and hand, with his wristwatch still on, were recovered a short distance from the campsite. Amy's partial remains were found next to the torn and collapsed tents, partially burned in a mound, buried in a mound of twigs and dirt. A red bird. The bear started a fire.
The bird.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Poor Amy. She didn't want any of this shit.
Yeah, what the hell?
A large male bear tagged Bear 141, protecting the campsite, was killed by park rangers during the attempt to retrieve the bodies.
What if he was just a bystander?
He was just
like
a
he wasn't even a
bystander.
bear. He just a bear stander.
He's just walking on by.
He just
A bear stander.
he just walked by and noticed, oh shit, this is awful. Oh fuck, and he dies.
A second adolescent bear was also killed a short time later when it
Whoa.
charged the park rangers.
Oh.
An on-site necropsy of Bear 141 revealed human body parts such as fingers and limbs. So Bear 141 definitely did it.
Oh, okay.
He was not just an innocent bear stander. The younger bear was consumed by other animals before it could be autopsied. In the 85-year history of Katmai National Park, this was the first known incident of a person being killed by a bear.
First known.
First known. A video camera recovered at the site proved to have been operating during the attack, but police said that the 6-minute tape contained only voices and cries as a brown bear mauled Treadwell to death.
Oh god.
People have actually tried to get a hold of this footage, and park rangers will not release it.
Sure.
Like, they refuse.
Yeah.
But the tape begins with Treadwell yelling that he is being attacked. "Come out here, I'm being killed out here," he screams. That the tape only contained sound led troopers to believe that the attack might have happened while the camera was stuffed in a duffel bag or during the dark of night.
Fuck.
The camera only recorded 6 minutes of audio before running out of tape. This, however, was enough time to record the bear's initial attack on Treadwell and his agonized scream. Its retreat after Amy tells Treadwell to play dead, and when she attacked it, its return to carry Treadwell off into the forest.
God.
dark.
Eaten by bear.
Eaten by bear.
It was hungry.
It's like, that's a little human taquito right there.
Yum, 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 yum. That's it, though.
Wow. That man made a poor decision. Amy sounds like a nice lady.
Amy just wanted to go home. She was going to break up with him.
She should have.
She should
So
have done
she
it before
got
she
out
went
alive,
to.
right?
No, she died.
No, she died.
She was eaten too. What? They were both eaten.
Dude.
Yeah.
Bears are hungry. They'll
Don't fuck with a bear.
That's why you gotta break up with those crazy bear dudes.
Yeah. Don't date a bear dude, people.
or horse chicks.
Horse chicks
Never
or bear
date
dudes?
a horse chick.
Horse chicks and bear dudes.
Horse chicks are crazy about their horses. You do not date a horse chick.
Moral of the story.
Don't date a horse chick.
Their horse will kill you.
That's the moral of the story.
The title of this episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not date bear people. Not bear as in the gay term, like people who are obsessed with bears, the
Yeah.
animal.
I didn't know that was a gay term.
It is a gay term. It's
Yes.
a burly man who is of the gay persuasion. They're beautiful.
All right, yeah.
Bears. What's the other one? Otters. Twinks.
Yes.
I know that one. These are
Yeah.
like
Well,
otters.
because you're one.
Otters is
You're
I am.
definitely,
You're a twink.
You're
Yeah.
definitely a twink.
You're welcome.
Oh, please don't do
No,
that.
can we actually title the episode Zach as a twink?
He picks topics.
I thought
he
it was
picks-
gonna be don't date horse.
Don't date horse chicks and
Yeah.
Zach is a twink.
That's so long. What did you think of the beer? Jack and Zach.
I liked it. I think the thing that would do we scale this on a scale of like 5 stars?
You could.
Or
You
anything
can
like
if you
that?
choose to. We don't do like a star rating. We just kind of describe how we felt about
We
it.
rank it. Yeah. We rank it relative to our other
To
beers
that.
that
Do
we
you
had.
even listen to this podcast?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm just calling it out real
I've
quick.
listened to 15 out of, I think, how many? 30?
This is 38.
Not 38.
38,
Yeah.
wow.
So I've worked through quite a bit, but not in a while.
Gosh, well, he can listen if he wants to. Okay.
Yeah,
There's better
Jesus.
podcasts out there.
He came
Excuse
onto
me.
our podcast. Doesn't even listen to it.
Hey!
Sorry, go on. What did you think of the beer, bud?
Hey!
You can rate it out of 5. That's what people
Yeah,
do
feel
on Beer
free.
Advocate.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
go
would
for it.
probably put it at a 4 out of 5.
Oh, really? That's high.
That's solid.
Yeah, just because I liked the kind of sensation that you would get from that smooth mouthfeel. So, you know how you guys describe it. It almost kind of had a wine texture to it. Besides the carbonation, I liked the small head. I never like too much foam where it's like half of it is head.
Yeah.
I don't like that. However, the taste, like I was saying before, where it's the smell and the taste being so different from each other, the vinegar kind of tastes to it. Meanwhile, the intensity of I would say it was pretty good on the watermelon,
Yeah.
but the intensity of the sourness and the taste did not match at all with the vinegar. So it almost made it like a different. You were having 2 different experiences at the same time.
I can see that.
Pick up your
so-
glass and
Yeah,
take
smell
a
it.
whiff.
Mine still has beer in it.
And what yours might not be. Tell me that doesn't smell like grilled barbecue chicken.
Oh my god!
Oh my
What
god,
the
that smells like grilled
fuck?
barbecue chicken. No, grilled barbecue chicken.
With like barbecue sauce on it.
See, now this makes it a 4.2 out of 5.
Like, why is that? It's just so funky. It's just,
What did you think of the beer?
it's wild. It's,
It is a wild ale.
yeah. I mean, we had, the other wild ale we had was Electric Jewel, and it wasn't anywhere near as intense as this was.
Not at all.
Really?
Just a lot of, it's very flavorful and very intense, very in your face. Very kombucha-ish, which I think Electric Jewel also was. Just funky, tart and sour, and it's a cool beer, but it's nowhere near any of my favorites.
Really?
But it's good. I would drink it again, just not anytime recently. The beers that we had in the last few episodes, the last 7 episodes, I've enjoyed more than this. But it was good.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
Nope.
No.
You drank more of it than normal. Like when you normally don't like a beer, you drink a couple sips of it. That's almost your whole glass.
I was trying to be fair and give Three Floyds a chance to improve me, to impress me, but
And and did it?
no.
Three Floyds 0 for 2 so far with Paige.
Damn.
No. I just think it was too much. I feel like the vinegar and like the kind of soy sauce taste to it just made it like too much. Like there wasn't, the watermelon was not watermelon-y enough for me to be like, this is a watermelon sour ale.
Yeah.
It was just like a hint of watermelon, like LaCroix, like someone took a burp near the can that had just eaten watermelon.
I feel like it wasn't.
I get that.
It wasn't sweet at all.
No,
No.
and Electric Drool was definitely
You're expecting
sweet.
sweetness
This
when you
was
see
different.
watermelon.
It was almost like somebody put salt on a watermelon. Like I know some people do that; they'll salt
That's
their
a good
watermelon.
way to eat watermelon.
But it almost tasted like that, but just like with that vinegary,
Funky.
like somebody like expired watermelon, like it's rotted.
Oh boy.
Like I'm trying to be honest
Really,
here.
really digging into this beer.
Damn.
Rotten watermelon.
Am I not allowed?
No, I
No,
mean
you are.
That's yeah. I can see that.
I did not like drinking it. Made me uncomfortable.
It's strange. It's a strange beer.
Like I was just like, huh. Like full body tremors because I was so repulsed by it.
Full body tremors.
It's hanging out at the bottom there.
Yeah. Oh, just pour it on the carpet. Why don't you?
Hey, and Carpet, how did you think of the beer?
Hey, Casoda, come over here. Tell us what you think.
Just spilled.
Yeah, kind of chills
I
out on
just
the bottom.
think that
Like
it was
poop?
not. It was not pleasant. It was not refreshing. Like drinking this is like a question of like, why are you drinking this?
I'm
like,
surprised
what does
too,
this
'cause
do for you?
You scored it higher than I think 3 of the other IPAs we had.
I gave it a 6.
Yeah,
It's not that high.
you have a 7 and an 8 and a 9 below it.
I'll probably end up changing it.
Okay.
I was just trying to be quick.
All right.
I mean, I'm not saying like I despise it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't
But I
hate this
just-
bear. It's just I've had better
I
beer.
regret it.
Whoa, Jesus.
All right,
was
this
better
episode
than
never
that.
happened. All right.
We'll
I
forget
don't
it.
regret this episode. I regret this beer.
Well, I'm glad you picked it because it's definitely very different than some of the stuff we're used to. We're used to trying. Mm-hmm. You know, this isn't craft beer and fear. This isn't good beer and fear.
We've been over this. We're trying to try different things,
is
and we
not
tried
beer.
something different. And Three Floyds has let me down again. Surprise, surprise.
We'll find something that you like from Three Floyds. I
We'll
guarantee
see.
it.
We'll revisit Zombie Dust too.
I tried their gumball head, and I didn't like that much
There's
either.
a chance.
What about Yum Yum?
Gumball
I
Head's
like
good. Yum Yum's good.
You like everybody likes Yum Yum. Come on, that's one of my favorites.
I like Yum Yum.
Yeah,
We got to try Selim Oath
yeah.
too, since you mentioned them yesterday.
beerandfearcast@gmail.com.
beerandfaircast@gmail.com.
Follow us on Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Every episode we release every week is here for your listening enjoyment on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time. Spotify is usually where it becomes available first, and then all of your other favorite podcast platforms you can check us out on. And then if this is the very first episode you're listening to and you haven't been in the loop, which I don't know why this would be your first episode, that's kind of weird that you just happen to pick on this one, but we are taking stories for hopefully Frights and Flights if we ever get to do it,
Someday.
where we pick your stories, we select your stories, we tell your stories on the episode, we shout you out, and we try the beer recommendation that you recommend to us with your story. So we try your beer, we tell your story on the show. I think that's it, right?
Any parting words, Mr. Jack?
How did you think of the episode?
I liked it. I like this topic. I like this beer. I like you guys most of all.
Like you too, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks for being our very first guest.
Thank you for
Yeah.
being here.
Thanks for having me. It was a fucking blast.
This is a fun episode.
Indeed.
We hope to have more guests, and hopefully we have you again.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Anytime you want
You're
me,
always
I'm
welcome
here.
back.
Other than that, away we go.
Have a good night.